All right, I just did a quick sketch of the two graphs that you will see, on your worksheet right there, and it wants you to determine the domain and the range of these two functions. First of all, let me ask you this. Are these functions, remember you can quickly tell by using the vertical line test, it can only intersect at one point. Here you might be a little concerned because you're like, well, look right here, it intersects at two different points, but it does not because this is a closed point, this is an open point. So my vertical test still works here. Same scenario right there. That one's open, that one's closed, so technically it's only hitting in the one point right there. All right, so yes, they are functions. You need to determine your domain and your range. Your domain, remember, is your x values. Your x-axis is running this way. So what I'm going to do here, think about it. I just kind of tell people, just use your pencil or whatever, and you're like, okay, my function stops at this point right here. And notice my x value is -3. And it has stuff going on to right here, and my x value is a +3. Both of these points are closed. So my domain in interval notation goes from -3 to 3. And notice both of these are brackets because it includes the point 3 and -3. Okay? Now your range, remember your range is your y value. Y's run up and down. So the lowest point is right here on my function, and my y value is -2. And the highest point is right here, and my y value is 4. So my range is going from -2 to 4. And again, you're going to have brackets because those points are included. Okay, now let's look at this one. I think on your little worksheet, 1, it's hard to see. 2, there should be an arrow right there and it didn't show up. So this is shooting off, okay, to positive infinity. But let's think about our domain. Remember, domain is your x values. So what I'm going to do is I'm looking at this. And you might think, oh gosh, when I'm doing this, 1, it's shooting off, it's getting wider and wider and wider, so it's shooting off to negative infinity and when I'm thinking my x values. But right here you might think I've got holes. You don't have holes because no matter where I'm going on this, there is a point. So for right here, the point's right here. You might think, hole right there, but no, I've covered, I got an x value right there. But at my farthest point here, my x value is 8, and notice it's an open point. So your domain is going to look like this. Remember, it's shooting off. There's no limits. There's nothing stopping it from getting really wide over here. And it's going all the way to 8. Doesn't include 8. That is an open point, so you're going to have a parenthesis right there. Okay. On your range, you're like, how high and how low does this thing go? Well, it's dropping all the way down here to this particular point. My y value is a -2. So it's going all the way from -2, and then there is nothing stopping it. It's shooting off to positive infinity, so it's going to be the point -2 to infinity right there. Why is this one closed? Again, there's a solid point right there. There's no open point, so I'm including the point -2. So that's how you find domain and range given the graph.